it's really my great joy and honor to have my friend Laor today in the Conscious Evolution Summit. Laor, we haven't seen each other for years, but I'm really so happy that we come together again for our meeting here.
Thank you so much. Really feeling blessed to be here today and to meet you again and to share some beauty and some love and some grace, especially in these very unique times that we are at.
Absolutely. And Laor, I just will read to our audience a bit about you. So Laor has been researching the powers of the human voice for over 15 years. She leads sacred circles, concerts, and ceremonial concerts worldwide. Her abilities and skills culminate in her unique magical voice essence, vocal breath journey workshops. Gathering with Laor is a unique, awakening, inspiring, and one-of-a-kind experience that touches the depth of our souls and being. Laor's passion is inspiring people to sing, pray, breathe, and love like never before. Yeah, and this is really the reason why I invited you to the summit, because I mean, my sense is being in the heart, connecting with our heart, connecting in a group. And I imagine the whole humanity one day really connecting from that space with each other. And I'm so convinced that when we are able to be like that together, that our world will look like very different than it looks right now. And so much is happening already. And really, I want to kind of really use your gift and your skill already in the beginning of our gathering today, so that you create a coherent field and really allow us to drop our awareness into our hearts just right in the beginning with your beautiful music.
Oh, thank you so much. Shall I sing a song first?
Please.
Okay. So thank you for inviting me. It's such special times that I'm really happy to just share love and music. So I'm gonna sing for you Agradeço. That is one of my, let's say, more known songs and the name of my album that came last year. And the meaning of Agradeço in Portuguese is I am grateful. And for me, especially in these times, this is the one mantra that really keeps my heart in the right place or aligned when can come the forgetful moments. I come back to this to just be grateful for what is in all levels, in physical level, in family level, earthly level, spiritual level, just to give thanks, because I feel this is really what keeps us aligned. Otherwise the mind, the monkey mind, can eat us with everything that is not working, not good, or could be, should be. And giving thanks is such a pure medicine. So I invite all of us, that whoever is watching, just to take a deep breath and release with the ah, to allow this release of breath and sound. Giving thanks. Agradeço, agradeço, Thank you. I'm very touched also to share it. For me, this is one part of the sharing, is that always we sing the music that is in the moment. Even if we sing a song that I already sang so many times, I'm singing it right now, from where I am in this moment, in this day, from who I'm talking to or sharing, which is really one of the keys of my work, is we are working with what there is right now, and this is what creates transformation and an expansion.
This is so beautiful, Laor, because for me, doing all these interviews, it's really also very much the same. I never prepare. I tune into the moment with the person I'm sitting and connecting to our audience, which will tune into this recording, and then just magic happens and people are touched. And I know that this is a huge similarity we have. And I just wonder, Laor, maybe you can share a bit about your let's say your way really discovering this gift and really putting it as a priority in your life, because I sense that so many people have really very different, unique gifts, and I just imagine if we would dare more to trust that our gifts, living them and sharing them, is really of value for ourselves and for people being with us, and listening to the unique story of a person, discovering it, you know, and really going for it can be very inspiring.
Wow, thank you for the opportunity also to remember. Um, so where do I even begin? I'll try to do it not too long, like to give a few points and then to speak about the essence. So I come from a family of, nobody was really an artist there, a lot of love and, you know, life, but I didn't really manage to actually explore my art as a kid. I always felt drawn to characters and being, you know, kind of very theatrical. However, music I didn't really start to deepen into it till the beginning of my 20s, where after a few turning points of my life, also with the family and finishing the army in Israel and then going on my journey to India and Nepal and Thailand, and feeling that I'm very drawn to start to explore music. So at that time, with this wish to explore music, and a few very empowering moment also with a good friend that was exploring his voice at the time, and also a lot through the plant medicine world that I was exposed to at that time, I started to receive information, especially through the ceremonies, about the use of my voice and breath. So in these ceremonies, if many people were in the beginning, you know, sitting in a circle and singing, at the beginning I was really drawn to lie down in the side and really just ooh, hee, I just felt that I couldn't stop breathing and sounding, and really like something really big was opening for me. Especially as I have to say, I was a very mental mind. What do I mean? Like I was, you know, going to a private school, learning math and the languages. Like I was very much trusting my own mind. So God before that, or spirit, was not existing for me. So it's not that I come from this background. I really, one day it just opened in front of my eyes or inside my heart and body through these, let's say, shamanic experiences, or yeah, the plant medicine world, and a lot of travels and watching people work with the spirit, with the energy. So that was really the beginning. I felt like something really big is opening for me. It was also not always just easy. It was almost like, oh my God, I'm home after so many years that I was walking in the desert. So it wasn't necessarily just blissful. It was also like a very powerful feeling that I haven't been home for many years, and now I'm home. And from that turning point, I just started to dedicate my life to that voice, to that information that was opened for me. And actually every time that I try to resist it and say, this is, you know, maybe it's not so important, I used to very, very fast be almost slapped back onto this path. Either by people that told me, hey, what are you doing? You have to sing, or you have to share this gift. What do you think of being, you know, if I like dismissed it in a way, I used to get this, you know, shocked, almost a bit angry, like, hey, go and share your gift. It's really important for everyone, and you can't keep it to yourself because you're really here to also help people. So it's important for me to say, because it's always like this inner conversation that with the years is getting less and less, because I'm already dedicating many years, but always this inner conversation that the mind can come and say, it's not so important, or and then this really strong force of love, nature, God and spirit that just gets back inside and say, hey, that's your path. So for me that was time that exploring the sounds in my body. I used to make a sound, poo, and it came out of my head. You know, I saw it really like, and I realized that the sound can reach everywhere in the body and can really heal in a very direct way and bring us back to source. So, you know, there is so many therapeutic or ways to reconnect to ourselves and our hearts, and some are through talking, and some are through moving, and deep therapies of going a lot to the past. And I felt that the music has the capacity to heal when we really find our voice and start to express it. There is so many things that are just being washed by this expression, the tears and the bliss that is coming, that people are usually very overwhelmed by the fast transformation that can happen, just because we open this gate inside of us to express our inner world. And many times this inner world is, you know, full of our own memories and traumas and thoughts and patterns, and there is something when we manage to sing it out, that suddenly we are seeing that many things left us, and not necessarily with analyzing what left or what happened. Many times it can come with a memory or you know, a clear, oh wow, I healed something there, and many times it's just a very, very deep release that leaves us with a bit more space to feel our own potential. Because I really feel each one of us has a huge gift, and the more we release and we make more space from the things that kind of catch us, you know, if it's negative thoughts or patterns or just core beliefs that are not true, and when we start to send them away with the voice and with the music and with love, we suddenly have space to see, oh wow, I have this. Oh wow, I know also this. Oh wow, I realized that as a child I actually loved this, and I didn't remember this all the years. So it really has this powerful life force capacity to plug people back into their source and into their power and energy and love and the place of creativity and manifestation. So I don't even remember what you asked, something about how I got there. But
no, that's great, Laor. It's really great.
guided also with the words, or like
Yeah. No, it's really great. And I mean, just listening to you, I mean, so many pieces which you are just named are really also ingredients in trauma therapy. So a loving space, movement, breathing, opening, all of that helps to move just stuck energy, stuck experiences, because often when something happens to us, which is just too big, too early, too overwhelming, we tend to tense and don't breathe. And when we make the opposite movement, things can start to flow and to move and to and even to leave our system. And I'm also, I mean, I'm such a big fan of working with sounds and frequency, because the beautiful thing in frequency is that it really penetrates everything. Frequency is just, it's so much also working in the subtle level, but penetrating everything, and that makes it so powerful.
Beautiful, yes, I agree.
Yes. And I just wonder, Laor, I mean, I know, yes, you experienced a lot, you traveled a lot, you really looked into different modalities, and you played with music, you really explored it and discovered it, how it is for you. And I just wonder whether you could share some few little things which are easy for people if they also like to go onto such an explorative journey. What benefits to reclaim your own flow of your frequency, of your sounds?
So I would say the first thing that I recommend all of us in the morning, because many of us have already our morning practice, if it's yoga or meditation or qigong, and there is beautiful things also in qigong and you know, tai chi and qigong and yoga, that people use sounds of the chakras, the ram, nam, and in the Chinese there is sounds for the liver and sounds which are all amazing also to work with. I feel it's really beautiful and putting us in alignment, which a lot I speak about it, that the alignment of our heart is what brings us to shine. And for me, the first exercise I would invite people is in the yoga or in your morning practice. I say always, it's like put the switch on button on our being. And the switch on button means we start to move energy. So we let our body start to move, you know, the way it feels in that moment. So less to put it under a yoga posture or, you know, things that actually put it in a structure, but more to let it start to move and breathe. And for me, the first thing is like, sighing our natural sound, which it looks easy, but many times in the beginning we find that we're so blocked even in just sighing. Oh. So for me this is really like a key beginning. And when we sigh, it's important we're not pushing the sound. We're not like, not yet, after, maybe. And we're not holding, we're not like, we're not doing the holding the sound. We want to really, like a roller coaster, you know, in the Luna Park, we want to ride our breath wave. So we ride the wave till it's finished, and then the body's again taking air. And if we do it while moving, rolling on the floor, feeling how it feels in all kind of places of the body, humming inside. So really opening this channel of making sounds in our body, sighing our sound, our natural voice. That this is the basic also to disconnect the judgmental mind that a lot of us in the Western world, we really arrived to music from this place. Either we were very talented as children and kind of brought, you know, you can sing, or we were exactly the opposite, don't sing, you know, and a lot of divisions also in schools, choirs, who can do, who cannot. And when we go to earth-based societies like Africa or India, Native Americans, movement and sound are part of life. You know, the African, you can really feel it, that we are just singing because we are alive. And for me, when I share this work, the voice essence, it's usually with people from the Western culture, it's the first thing is hey, yo, just to make sounds, to allow ourselves this freedom of expression like when we were kids. And even if in the beginning you will feel your blockages or your judgments, my always invitation is just watch it like a movie. Go like to a new playground with new toys. You might not know how to play with them, but you want to explore and be curious. So we're just watching the mind, even if it says, oh, come on, all the time continue to breathe. And then the energy will start to take over. The more we commit to the breath, the more the mind can start to be quiet. And the second invitation there is when you sing, you listen to your own voice. And listening less with the mind, more really physically listening, hearing the little vibration in the wave of your voice. Hey, and when we express and sing and listen at the same time, it makes kind of a lock into the present moment, that the mind is hard for it to come in between, because this movement of listening while singing is making this, so helping us to stay. So I would say for all of you out there that listen, yeah, that's the first thing for your vocal freedom, even before you sang a song. Just to be able to explore this thing of called human being through the sound.
Yeah, I really love it that you remind us, because I get really this playfulness, and also really I hear your invitation also, don't have a purpose for it. Don't try to make a special sound or a special something. You just go with what is coming out of you, and not judging it, not directing it, not controlling it. Just let it flow freely. Yeah.
It's hard to say not to judge it, because we do judge. So the invitation is more to watch the mind. For me, voice essence is a space where it's a laboratory of life through voice and music. So like scientists, we come to research, not to come out with the results. And it's very important, because technique of singing we can always learn, and to learn songs we can always learn, and work on that, absolutely, of course, and I do support it, and I think it's very important. However, for me the biggest importance is when one really managed to connect to your natural voice and what's happening inside of you. Because from there, when the music comes from there, it's really touching us, ourselves. And creating this, this life explosion inside of us. And we can have a very beautiful technique, but if our heart is not aligned and in harmony, then it will sound beautiful, but it will have less effect of what's happening to us inside. So for me, it's learning to sing the music of our moment. Right now, what's happening there? From the experience that if we sing what there is, it will transform. And really magic is coming. When this is happening in my groups, it's like the whole room, we start to see colors, and there is amazing things that happen just from this alignment of our hearts and the voices and the harmonies, because people are just very tuned inside their heart. And I feel for our goal-oriented mind, it's so important. So important to have spaces, music or anything, movement, that bring us in the moment. Even more than ever, because the life is so busy with information, with all this social media and phones and this, that our minds are so stimulated. And most of the time we're not in the moment. Most of the time we think what we need to do. We have missions and the social media and phone and call. I mean, Just the fact that we can have our phone everywhere in these days is already crazy. So everything that brings us in and playful, remembering this child, this not so serious, this, yeah, just to play. And the playfulness is very healing and beautiful.
And I just wonder, Laor, if you have a song which maybe really transport this childlike, innocent playfulness. Does something come to you which you could share with us?
I have many. Let me think for a moment. Let's prepare the guitar. And tune it. I mean, actually, it's quite a new tune. So it just came recently, but this is just an example like this. And then I can actually sing one mantra that arrived to me, maybe to invite everybody to sing together, whoever sees. Shall we do two, like that? What do you say? So this tune just arrived recently, and it came with this energy. So this is like a taste, but many like this, they come to me. Actually, music arrives to me like this with energies. So comes sometimes the very playful energy for the child, and sometimes comes very deep and kind of like ancient waves. And for me, music till today is things more that I receive. So I'm less of an artist till now. Let's see what's gonna be, but that really sits to write songs. You know, like have an idea and then play with words. Some of my songs are like this, but very little of them. Usually it's that I'm in a moment of inspiration and connection to spirit, and then boom, comes down like in a lift. And yeah, actually one like this arrived 2 weeks ago. And soon I'm already recording it this week because it's so powerful. So it will come out soon. I don't know if to sing it or to sing the mantra.
Whatever you prefer, Laor, or maybe there is space for both.
let's do the mantra now, because the other one is quite a deep one, but maybe we do it later after talking a bit more. Let's do now this mantra that I do it almost in every voice essence journey, or I gave quite some live meetings on Facebook and Zoom in this quarantine time. And this mantra is called Muni Munja. And it arrived like this. I don't know the meaning, but when it came to me, I know the meaning. And it came with this energy of, it's calling the sweetness of the universe to come inside our hearts, which I feel is so important in our times now. Some sweetness to remember the sweetness, the sweet water of our heart. So I invite the people to sing with me. Huh? People, whoever is there. It's always special to sing to how you say, to a computer. However, I have to say, in these special times, I also feel all the people also like this. I feel we have like the gift of feeling far through these lockdowns and weird times that we are at.
Yeah, and
times.
yeah, and I also sense maybe really because we can see each other, we can hear each other, but we can also feel each other. And I always think that when we have more and more this experience, maybe this makes us also aware of our interconnectedness and that we can feel each other. I mean, having that with the sitting in front of a computer is one thing, but we can also have that without a computer. And when we experience it with the technique, maybe this opens us to explore also other ways, sensing it and really noticing our invisible interconnectedness. So I find it, in a way, I mean, everything has advantage and disadvantages on this, in this world. But I also see a possibility where we can really open up to other realms in us with this special circumstances.
Absolutely. Really beautiful, and beautiful that you do this, that you want to bring this good energy for to many people. It's really beautiful, and I think it's really, really important now in these days to remind people all the time of the goodness, the well-being, the beauty, the heart, the togetherness, the endless human potential that we have regardless of governments and politics. And it's, yeah, I feel we are in a very, very beautiful portal of consciousness through these crazy times. I mean, if we just look at what's happening, it's quite, I think Steven Spielberg couldn't even write this movie.
Yeah, and I also have one expert this year, Juan Carlos Caeten, who talked. He's a kind of, he calls himself a social architect and social alchemist. So he really works with big communities as well. And he said, in his sense, we really reached this amount of people which are interested in that and which are ready to shift and really ready to live guided from the heart and from the being. But what he senses is that what is still needed more is really coming into coherence with each other. And I sense music is a beautiful way to create that. And the other thing is really connecting in a common vision of in which world we want to live in. And yeah, so I really want to use this space to create this coherence, to let us sense that we are already so many people interested in that. And I mean, this guides me kind of to another question, because I sense when we are connected with our heart and our being, what we envision and what we value isn't that different. And you work with so many people in different cultures, in different countries, in different places. And maybe you can share what do you notice and what do you realize? What do we all have in common there when we meet?
Oh, what a beautiful question. In a way, it's also really obvious, but unobvious, because we are still searching. But we all want peace in our hearts, and we all want to love and be loved, and we all want to feel and be connected to this human life and life force. And I think more than even being loved, which is kind of the common thing everybody, would say, I feel the strongest thing is people want to share their heart and to share their gift. And I feel in my work, what I feel one of my missions are, or the gift that I received that I would like to share, is a safe space for everyone to feel their uniqueness, so they can share. Because the biggest thing for the human is everyone wants to share their gifts. First of all, to acknowledge their gifts. And for this, we need safe spaces to heal all the craziness of life, so people can feel again their heart and share their gift. I always say we are all different trees, and each tree has a fruit to give. And one of our things is to discover, first of all, what is my fruit? And everybody is unique and special. And I think this is one of the strongest things that the people want, and that causes them pain when they're not doing it, is sharing their love, even more than being loved. Well, it comes together. You have to feel loved in order to share your love. But even more than being loved, people want to give. to give to give their love. And if it can be to a lover or a child or to the world or to the nature, to share your art or to share your skills, to share your thoughts, to share your visions. Like, we are all visionaries. Even the most simple people, they have visions. And it's just, I feel that the way we are brought up, or the way society kind of took it, is like so early we forget, because we're put in one so irrelevant path, where if we all go into this new world where we acknowledge what is truly important to bring up in kids, then kids wouldn't forget so fast their visions, their skills and their gifts. They would just walk that. And this is, I hope, the world we're going to. And that's what I see in everyone. Everyone wants to give. Everyone wants to feel their value as a human, as a light force, yeah, to experience our humanity and to share it. Yeah, I feel moved just to talk about it.
Same here, same. I have goosebumps, and I just would like also to hear from you how you would phrase it, because I sense, I mean, that's the motivation why I put all my time, my resources into creating that, because I'm convinced that when we create spaces where we come together, where we have a loving space, where we can be who we are, where we connect with this common value of living more from the heart, really from our essence, and co-creating together. What value do you see when we have spaces, when we are just not on our own, alone at home, which also is beautiful from time to time, but what is the magic which happens, and the possibility which opens up when we come together in such spaces, because you also do that very, very often.
Yeah, I feel, first of all, is a great healing. Before even going to the potential, sitting in a circle, this form of circle which has been used since thousands of years by the tribes, by, you know, all the old ways of living, we always sat in a circle together. So there would not be a first or a last, that we would feel this endless movement of life. And in this endless movement we are all connected. So if one goes out, we feel a whole. So already just by the shape of a circle, there's a lot of healing that is happening. We are all valuable, we are needed for this creation of this magical womb of light. And then, of course, from this derives the empowerment of one another even through, in all my circles, in all my workshops or ceremonies, first of all we share our name, and in a way, and saying how we are right now, and always I guide to speak from the moment, so not, you know, not one story we planned. So already there we already start to feel this thing, okay, from right now, inside the body, speaking out my name, which means creating the reality, because talking is creating. So already from this moment we start to create the reality together, the magical alchemy that is happening in a circle. And there is so much magic that I see that is happening in a circle just from this format. And we are all putting an intention, so it's almost like threads of golden light from each heart that goes in the middle, creates like your yurt behind, creates this alchemy of intention. And usually we speak, the intention is to align our hearts, to share our light, to empower. And of course, through the music, when we sing all together, I experience so much incredible things that I can't even have words. From light beings to people that are not with us anymore, that arrive to the circle because they're so drawn to be in this light. of sitting together in the music, and the music really carries information to the galaxy of. So I always picture, I always imagine if there were all communities in the world that sang. You know, it's like balls of light, and I think even the Dalai Lama once spoke about lotuses, like lotus flowers. So if we all have these communities that circles, then maybe slowly we make it really a difference. Do I answer your question? I'm not even sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just have this this thought that I really want to invite everyone who is now watching and listening our conversation, because Laor will just now share what really helps us to come into coherence. And when she is sharing what she shares, I want to invite you that you envision it and that you feel it, that you sense it, that you see it, just guided by her words, already coming into that. Yeah, and I just will put it on the beginning and then cut it, you know, that what you shared is kind of, people can really follow it then, because it's really beautiful what you said. Yeah. And not just, you know, not that they not only listen, but already kind of move with us in that.
Like what I said before.
Yeah, so I would just put what I said,
Yeah, yeah.
put it before,
Perfect.
and then it goes into a flow. Yeah.
Ah, so nice. Beautiful to speak about it also, because I feel also we really need to empower one each other in these times, because it's very easy also to forget,
Yeah.
especially people that lived in big cities, you know, and like that. So now we speak out of this place of light, you and me. You know, we have this
Absolutely.
intention. However, it's so important to remember that we can forget it very easily. You know, once we are occupied in the life, and then somebody says something, and this. And I feel the more we can create ourselves these little safety zones, meditation in the morning, talking to people that are sharing light. So either, you know, friends or whatever, teachers. So it's really, for me, I see in my life, it's so important to create these safety zones where I can always plug back into light. Because of course, when it's so busy and this, I can also forget sometimes
Yeah.
and go into my mind or my patterns or whatever. I'm working like everybody else, which is also something I always love to share. We're all working, we're all in the same boat. Even if I have an experience now 15 years or 20 years, okay, so I just have experience, but I'm still a human being like all of us. And it is, I don't know why it even comes to me to share this, but I always share it because I feel the time of the gurus is done. It's done. It was really in the 70s, you know, people came out from Germany and other countries really from quite hardcore upbringings, and the guru was really needed to and today the information is there. I mean, already my son knows what is meditation and yoga, and he's 8. Everything is out there. I think in today's world is the connections, to understand that we are all together and to create more circles, more tribal intelligence that will pass through us. Of course, there is still amazing masters and teachers, but I feel these times is more people coming back to pray together, to our own temples, to shine together.
Wow, I love that. Thank you for reminding us. And yeah, I can't agree more to what you shared. And I also sense, I always had this image when I started creating this summit 2 years ago, the first time. I had the sense everybody who is watching and connecting, no matter where on the globe, it's like acupuncture needles in the field, and and the threads where we are connected is coming together, and it really is like when we are together, like how you described it. I also sense we give really kind of a supplement and nurture into the field, which then also reflects back to us and nourishes us. So it's really a relationship a spirit, an invisible spirit in a human form, and the spirit of the planet and the spirit of the universe, and all of that is so connected, and we can become really aware of that and see, and really, because many people also speak about making choices. This is a moment where we are asked to make conscious choices. And what do I give into the field? What with my words, with my behaviors, my actions, do I send out? And helping us to remind each other and to really create clear and loving and magnificent, diverse spaces is just, I mean, just we talking about that, I sense uplifting energy.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And Laor, I just wonder if you have a song in your heart which reflects or which empowers just what we shared even more on just this frequency level.
So I will share with you the new song that arrived to me 2 weeks ago. After, for a long time, I didn't receive a new song actually. And as I shared before, these songs usually they find me. So my family was in a vacation in Switzerland, and I stayed at home. I got a mommy vacation, so I managed to play a lot my guitar. And then at 1 o'clock in the night, at one of the nights, this one arrived. And this is the song that I'm recording these days. And I will just say a bit the words because it's in Hebrew, but the energy, you would all feel it. It came with this very old Jewish prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav, which is like the most common Jewish prayer before all the commands, you know, to light candles of Shabbat or to wash your hands. So there is this very common prayer that says, "Blessed you Lord, King of the universe," that commanded us to light the candles or to do that or that. And it came to me really just like this. It arrived like the same prayer, and the last sentences that commanded us to be human beings. And this is really like, it's called Human Beings, this song. And then the second part is another Jewish prayer that says, Hodu le'Adonai ki tov ki l'olam chasdo, which means give thanks to the Lord as He is always graceful. So of course it's very old words, but for me these words, they carry one energy. So Hodu, like give thanks. Give thanks, give thanks. Again, the gratitude is what really heals our hearts. The gratitude and the forgiveness. Forgive and give thanks. So, yeah, it's quite deep, but I'm happy to share it. במצוותיו וציוונו להיות בני אדם. מצוותיו, וציוונו להיות בני אדם. I did a short version, however, really nice to share it. It's one that touches my heart very much. Because I feel this is the message in these times, that this God, this Spirit is really commanding us to be human beings, whatever that means to each and every one, in the potential level, in the experience level, to continue to embody our humanity and to walk through these special times as a human race.
Yeah, and it reminds me also to what one of the speaker also said, that the evolution of our soul is really so much catapulted when we are in a human body, a spirit and soul in a human body. Lets us evolve 1,000,000 times faster and more than when we are just spirit in the invisible realms, because having these forms and moving in this density in a world which is so different than our essence and our spirit lets us grow very, very fast. And yeah, and just remember that yes, it's challenging from times to time. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it can be intense. But we chose it. We as souls chose it because we really knew this is an opportunity to grow. And yeah, and maybe it helps when you are in a challenging, difficult time to remember, yes, but on a soul level, and bringing really my heart and my being into my expression, although there is a difficulty, although my ego would love to have things differently, but still be in this love flow that lets us mature so much.
Beautiful. Wow, inspiring. Thank you.
Yeah. And Laor, I mean, we're coming to the end of our time together, but I wonder, I mean, I will share your website link, of course, but what would be the best way to stay in touch with you, to see about your upcoming events for people who really got inspired and would love to meet you on Facebook Live or on a physical event where you are?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much. So I think the fastest way these days is Facebook and Instagram. So my Facebook is Laor Music, and you're very welcome to like the page, and then you can see also the events that are coming and some lives and some songs and video clips. And then in Instagram I'm the same, Laor Music, and then you can stay in touch through this media. And then of course the website that is under rejuvenation. It's working, but we're bringing a lot more content, and it's in the next couple of months it will become much more festive. And then of course Spotify for whoever is listening in this way, and whoever wants to purchase my album, which this is I think the best support these days for artists, is actually to purchase the music in all this Spotify land world. So my album is Agradeço, and you can find it in laor.bandcamp.com, and then you have it on your computers and you can listen and share. I'm very touched by this album. It's my first a full album that I released last year, and it carries a lot of beautiful songs, and I think adults and kids really enjoy to listen to it. So yeah, thank you so much for connecting, and I'm always open to receive emails and messages. I love to stay in touch and to hear about experiences and people's evolution.
Thank you so much, Laor, that you said yes to my invitation, that you made space in your busy day. You're mom, you have children, you're traveling, you give workshops, you're recording, so your day is also full. So I really, it means a lot to me that you made space, and I just love what you are doing, and I hope that it reaches many hearts, and I'm sure it contributes to more coherence, to more co-creating a world of peace and of love. And I also want to thank everyone who is still with us here in our conversation and takes time to watch the summit and is with all these inspirations, because it means a lot when you make space for that in your busy life, because I assume yours is not so different from ours. And but that is really of value. As I said, the frequency we are in, and whatever helps us to remind us to come into love and peace, which is our innate nature. We are that when we are born as babies. And everything what helps us in that and reminds us in coming together in such spaces is so important and is so beneficial for our evolution. So, and I hope you share this with your friends, and see you in the next conversation.
Thank you so much, Puria. Thank you, darling. Really amazing work.
Bye, Laor.
Bye, darling.